What's up, gang? I just got done with my gym session here, working out, trying to stay fit. Last month was my birthday, and it's interesting to be here at the moment. At 40 years old, want some, getting away from some things, cutting out. You know what was the hardest thing to get rid of was Whataburger. Man, to get away from that type of food, it was tough. It was tough, and you just had to be disciplined enough to eventually. It didn't start off right away cold cut turkey. It was once a week. Because I was probably eating it 3 4 times a night or a week because it was the only thing that was open, and like I couldn't eat that. I was constantly having to work on that mentality for like a month, and then I started doing once a week, and then once a month, and then now I don't even care for it anymore. And it's great. It's just honestly, I trained my brain to say it's gross. Every time I see it, I see that W, it's gross. Anything orange now, it's gross. So I mean, I had to do the same thing for McDonald's. Not that McDonald's is all that great. It's just it was the only thing that was open. I would have a long night at work and get done with the office at Code One, and the only thing that was open was McDonald's on my way. So it was pretty easy just to drive in there. It's a drive-through and get out of there, and boom, have my little double cheeseburger and spicy McChicken. Oh man, that was so good. But now I'm learning to get away from some of the hardest things that some people say they're addicted to sugars and addicted to to junk food really, and it takes a lot of power, brain power to get away from that stuff. And if you struggle with stuff like that, I would recommend watching Tony Robbins when he talks about Tony Robbins NLP stuff. Man, it's a game changer. It's because you gotta change your habits. You train your brain to, like, for example, what I do is Whataburger, McDonald's, gross. Every time I see it, I gotta say it. Even though I'm eating it, I still gotta train myself to say it's gross. So that's just a little insights of some of the struggles that I have myself. Right? I got some of my own vices, as I would say. I would say some of the other vices would be cars. I remember when I was younger, every extra penny I had, I'll buy a car part or something about to do with my car. I'll go to O'Reilly's or Advanced Auto Parts, AutoZone, whatever it is. I'll buy something, some little accessory or a cleaning product. Yeah, until I finally pretty much bought everything for my car, and now I'm gonna go in towards the interior. So I've been working on that, but I just love cars, and I don't that one I'm not even trying to. Well, because of how the bank works, how my bank account works, needs some of that to be filled up to buy more car parts. So until then, I'll be working on that. But it's something that I'm passionate about, and just love cars. I've always been working on cars and been working on some of these Chevys and anything that has to do. Now I'm working on my Toyota Corolla, and it's done simple how this car works. And I was like, just looking at my oil pan when I changed the oil, it's like this little baby pan. It's crazy how small the oil pan is. But yeah, I've always liked Toyota. I don't know why I like Toyota Corollas. I guess my time in Asia with Japan and Korea, like it's driving these little cars around. It's like, man, you can whip this thing around and You can get everywhere. You can squeeze into everything. And when I moved back to the States, and I remember going on my first date with a person just coming back from the States, and she's like, I wasn't expecting this big ass dude to be coming out of this Corolla. I was like, I guess Corollas, I mean, to me at the time, Corollas were pretty decent size. But now that I've been here for 5 years, back in the States, it's like, yeah, I can see it. It's very small compared to all the other cars that I've seen in the last, let's see, I was in Korea for a year, Japan for 2, so 3 years I'm seeing these cars and they're just tiny. But now I kind of wish I got the basic Toyota Corolla, the very basic one. I kind of wish I got the sports one. I like to go fast. And then now I kind of think I should have gotten like a Honda Civic Si, that has like, great suspension and, just picks up. I'm not looking to be like, I'm not trying to get like 500 horses. I'm just trying to get like 300, 250, 300, and I'm good. I'm happy. Just to get around town. It's small and whip that thing around. Of course, I love trucks. I love all kinds of cars. Sorry, I'm drinking my protein shake. Hopefully I don't get in my beard. But yeah, it's been interesting. I've been talking to a couple of people, working with some partners. And one of the things that is no matter what, you're going to come across people who let you down. And you're going to come across people who, keep your promise. They'll say one thing and then change their mind. And I, honestly, I'm trying to do that myself. I don't want to, not that I intentionally tell somebody that a lie or I'm intentionally trying to do them wrong. It's just some of my I can't deliver on the time that they say. So, I have that problem. Like, I know I can do it. It's just I let other factors get in. So one of the things that I'm working on is being more organized with time. Because what I do every week is I reflect on what I'm doing. Like, how can I get better here? And I've been doing really great with minimizing distractions. I scroll through the Instagram, but when I do, it's more of see what people are doing, what's new. Like, there's unfortunately now that just reminded me, the F-35 crash, and luckily the pilot was safe and nobody got hurt. And it's those things that I look for, but that's been hitting. Is that video has gone viral, hardcore. So, but I'm thank goodness that the pilot was coming down safe, and that I know of. I haven't seen anything yet. Maybe there is, but somebody nobody got hurt, and that's what I look for. And so I'm kind of been patient. I just know to step away, not to get upset about it, and just move on. Because you ultimately control your own emotions, right? You can get upset about the situation. It's sad, or not sad, but it's unfortunate that maybe a friendship didn't accumulate, or a partnership didn't form, and there was misunderstandings on both ends that we just gotta break it off. Not to, even though that there's, even when you get to a rough time, you don't want to. You don't want to get yourself in a situation that you can't deliver, like for sure can't deliver, and then, and especially if you don't enjoy it. Like one of these things, guys, there was a misunderstanding that, I was in this X, Y, and Z is my responsibility, but it's like, yeah, I also want you to do A, B, and C. Told him no the first time. Then we had another conversation. He's like, no, you don't need to do A, B, and C. I was like, last time we talked, that was what you wanted me to do. And then now, he says, well, no, I still want you to do A, B, and C. I was like, okay, we're done. And you just gotta back it off. And then, there's gonna be miscommunication, and that's okay. That's why having those tough conversations is gonna be important. And so I'm looking for, and with the stories that I've heard with people looking for jobs, it's like, searching online, looking through LinkedIn, and a very common practice is that people, apply for a job and they don't hear nothing at all, and that's not good. So people want to know, hey, what's going on with my position? Like, I have friends, that have been told to, January would be the month that they we hear something, get a job, but they didn't. They haven't. So yeah, you gotta follow up with them and stuff like that. But the problem is, guys, to get around that, you have to start building up abundance, right? You have to have the abundance mindset. So what does that mean? What that means is you start applying and do it correctly. I would highly recommend to do it correctly, because the chances of what I will call conversion, which means you get a job, you converted, is you. I said this before, where you pick out all the businesses and the companies that you want to work for. I say minimum 10. That's my minimum. Okay. And that's the same approach, guys, that you would do. Like, if you go to a new base, just don't go to the community bank and that's it. Talk to Navy Fed. There's ATMs out there. Go to community bank. What are some other banks? Whatever banks are on base. I know. Stateside, they usually got the local base, on base, or I'm sorry, the local bank on base. Especially if you're in the States, go to all of them. Go to community colleges, see what the rates are, see what they're gonna do for you, right? You want them to earn your business, to fight for your business, but same thing in looking for a job. Just don't apply for one job and then you're crossing your fingers. It's not what you do. You gotta be prepared for a no there. You gotta be prepared for the second no, the third no. So send your resumes, not the same one, guys. That's another thing, is do not send the same general resume to somebody. You want to tailor it just a little bit towards that job, towards that specific company. Because if you go to SpaceX, to Origins, to Blue Origins, or to, what's the other one in the other guy doing? Virgin Galactic. All those three have different missions. One is trying to go to Mars. The other one is trying to do some kind of traveling or get to a certain level of space. So you got to understand that they all have different missions, how you're going to contribute, and what you value about that, and what are you going to do for that company. All right. So you want to tailor each resume towards them, right? So do not just send one, contact 10 of them. Get on LinkedIn, get on contact, get to build relationships with them. Okay? Because what's going to happen is that if SpaceX doesn't want to hire you, or takes forever to hire you, and I already know that Boeing takes a while, not because they don't want you, and it's just bureaucracy. It takes a while, right? And then if that's the case, I've heard so many times, like project managers getting hired on, is that, we're waiting for this project to get through, and then we'll start hiring you. And I'll tell you a little secret. What a lot of companies are doing now, is they are hiring people to replace others, or they're putting people on the bench, even though they and the reason that they're doing this, and I'm sorry, I see it on the side, but maybe this helps you to be creative on how to get hired, right? So I haven't found anybody that's been creative, but maybe you can just be straight up like, hey, whoever I'll be better than the worst person on this team, right? If you need them to replace you, to replace that person, replace me with them. Companies learn that if they're looking for great talent, and if you're exceptional, they'll pick you up right away and let somebody go, right? Or if they already thinking about letting someone go, there's always somebody ready to let go of somebody. So maybe it's not urgent that they're looking for somebody. However, they will continue to recruit you, because people are a huge asset, right? They're a major asset. And if they can find that great talent to improve their team, to improve the workspace, the productivity, that's what they're looking for. They're always looking for to replace the next person, right? Because that's why you should never, as a technician or just a person, you're never going to anywhere that you feel like you're entitled, because you can be gone. And we can say, you can be a victim all you want. That's not the mindset that I want you to be in. I would hope the movement that I want to develop, it's just go-getters. And I know there's a lot of mechanics that are go-getters. Yeah, and we complain. I complain here. I was complaining the other day about, and I caught myself. I was like, no. And my friend was like, no, like, what were you saying? Nothing. Forget about it. Oh, I already forgot. It's a mindset. It's a terrible mindset. And I catch myself sometimes too. However, the mindset of how do we get things done, instead of like, who's going to fix this? I said, I can't fix it. It's like, how do we do it? How can we fix this? How can I help you? How can I accomplish this task or this mission? And those are the things you got to think about daily, or when you come across somebody, is like, because there's been managers I've been in for 20, 30 years, and it's always about me, right? And we know that's a bad manager. We know that's not the approach they should be taking. However, even though that you're and I'll tell you from experience as a senior airman or A1C, it's like, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? What can I do to help you? What can I do to help you fix this? What do you need from me? And nobody wants to do that. And just imagine if you were that person, that you can take the responsibilities on your back and figure out how to. And sometimes some guys play, some of the guys who are weak-minded, they're going to play with you. They're going to play jokes on you, right? They're going to mock you. That's the one I got, is they're going to mock you, right? And I remember there was a prank pulled on me, how blade alignment tool for the inlet. And I'm brand new, but I'm always, asking people, hey, what do you want to do? Hey, what's up, man? That's another thing, is to say, what's up, man? They'll be mocking me what I say, because that's why I say, what's up, man? What can I do? What can I help? And they started mocking me, what's up, man? What's up? I remember that. But anyways, this blade alignment tool, they told me, it's like, oh yeah, go into CTK and see if they can find a blade alignment tool for a Pratt Whitney. I was like, oh, okay. So I went to the engine shop. I went to CTK. I went to CTK several times, and they didn't tell me that somebody's fucking with me. However, I went to the sister units, F-15 crew, and I went to the engine shops, and because my engine was a Pratt, and they asked me, what did they ask me? Oh, no, I asked him if they know anything about a Pratt Whitney blade alignment tool for the inlet. And he was on the phone. He was leaning back, and he just looks at me, And whoever he's talking to, I don't know who he was talking to, but he was like, "Hey, listen to this, man. This kid is in my doorway. He's looking for the blade alignment too, and I think they're fucking with him. So let me let you go." And I was like, "Oh man," but I was, brand new A1C. I didn't know any better. And it's like, "Yeah, dude, that doesn't exist." It's like they're fucking with you. I was like, "Oh, damn it!" So I ran back. I mean, I kind of held back a little bit when I showed the staff sergeant, but I was like, "Man, why are you fucking with me?" Oh man, it's good times. But you're gonna get those. You're gonna be criticized. You're gonna criticize for being a piece of shit. Because I do it. If you're a piece of POS, I can't stand that. I can't stand laziness. I can't stand. Yeah, I would say complacency, like to the extreme. Like they purposely are doing it. Like I hate laziness. I hate it with a passion. And I'll give you shit. I'll give you shit all day, and I'll do it to this day. Giving it to students, I'll give it to instructors, or I tell my friends, family members, whatever it is. That's just something I can't do, and I try to stay away from that as much as possible. And same thing with negativity. I just stay away from it. I don't. People who people who don't take accountability, like, "Oh man, it was my fault," or people who say that, "Oh, X, Y, and Z, that's their fault. Why can't you help me?" Or it's like you're supposed to help me, or whatever the case may be. Like I can't stand that stuff. So you might as well read something else, because this is that laziness is not something I like. All right, so though I can be a little harsh, but man, I'll get onto your ass about stuff like that, and hopefully things turn around. That's what I would hope. All right, I kind of lost my train of thought there on that one, but it's just like that's how bad somebody who's lazy just irks me. Now, there's a difference between maybe somebody who's lazy but they find a better way. I was like, that's cool too. But somebody who's not trying to contribute at all bothers the crap out of me, And then they want to complain. That's the worst part, right? Even worse, on top of that, is that they complain why their paychecks is X, Y, and Z, or why so-and-so got promoted before them. And we need to get out of, oh yeah, I was talking about scarcity mindset. Yeah, it's, when you go into these jobs, you don't want to have this scarcity mindset. You guys have the balls in your court. You have the pick of the litter. You just got to set yourself for success. So I even do this. Like I'll talk to business partners, or not business partners, but people I'm trying to talk to, banks, or insurance companies. I was like, well, Geico's, giving me 50% off, or this bank is giving me X rating. It's like, why can't you be that? I was like, oh, they're giving me tickets to the Dallas Cowboys game. That I kind of pull those strings and see what they can do. And if they don't care, then they're not going to care about your business. They're just trying to be clerks. So scarcity mindset is, yes, do your part, follow up, but start contacting other companies. Reach out to them on LinkedIn, all the social media platforms, because if LinkedIn is not one of their platforms, but they're a little hyperactive on Instagram, I also reach out to them on all other places. Why? Because they might, be active on, say, Facebook, but they're not like out there, doing work, right? They're just, leisurely just looking on there. You never know. So recruiters are going to lie to you, or they're going to be so busy that they don't get to you. So take some responsibility, follow up with them, give them your resumes, and you get mentored on those resumes. Make it look good, because recruiters, some of them are aircraft mechanics. Some of them are, they don't even know how to do 8610 8610-2s, they don't know what those are. And it was like the number one request I get often is like, how do you do this paperwork? And if you're looking for paperwork, DM me AMP. I'll get you hooked up on how to get started. And nothing wrong with that. I didn't even know what an AMP was until 10 months I was about to get out. So you don't know what you know, but if you're gonna be an aircraft mechanic recruiter, at least you gotta know that, right? So I got tons of experience on helping guys out get the 8610. So meet up with me on Tuesdays, especially, or if you want to schedule something where we can, give you a strategy of where to go from there, then let's do it. Let's jump on and comment below AMP or DM me AMP, and I'll get you started. All right. But that's all I wanted to talk about is the recruiting. It might have a lot of leads, but also don't just stick to that one recruiter or that one job. Make sure that you jump onto something else. Work on something else, because if their project or their numbers don't, show up for them on their business side, they might cut down on recruiting. That's what happens. All right. So have the mindset of abundance. Keep, have, tons of contacts in your banks, contacts and relationships with financial advisors, schools, insurance companies, banks. Like, these are the things that you need to make sure that people are working for you. All right. So same thing with companies. If they're willing to work for you, then do it. Continue to look for jobs, because it's not official until you sign that contract, right? So make sure we have the mindset of abundance. So that's all I have for tonight. Thank you for everybody that stayed on. Have a good night. And we're done.